Economists, political scientists, and emerging market specialists have been talking for half a century about the coming of Asian Age, which will apparently mark an inflection point when the continent becomes the new center of the world. The future of Asia is no longer just a story about China. 10 years ahead, Asian economies will go from participating in global trade and innovation flows to establish their shape and direction. Right now, 44% of international students are Asian, 119 of world's 235 unicorns are Asian, and 50% of growth in consumer consumption, consumer demand over the next decade is going to come in Asia. This is not a China only story, it's about India's growth, the world's third largest economy already by PPP, purchasing power parity standards. ASEAN is soon to be the world's fourth largest economy. To make a long story short, it's not about if and when Asia will rise, but how Asia is going to lead. The recent deterioration in the quality and credibility of national political and economic institutions, illustrated by rising corruption, is likely to become a binding constraint to growth in Asia. High-quality institutions will help fast-growing, converging economies avoid the middle-income trap and slow our modest growth aspiring economies to establish the basic institutions for moving towards sustained economic growth. Throughout Asia, an expanding middle class will exert new demands for greater voice and participation, greater accountability for results, and greater personal space. Although daunting, eradicating corruption is critical for all countries to maintain social and political stability and retain legitimacy. These common challenges all require effective governance both at central and local levels. Asia must retool its institutions with an emphasis on transparency, accountability, predictability, and enforceability. These intergenerational issues apply to most Asian economies, but their relative priority will vary over time, depending on a group of country belongs to at a given time. This group of 7 economies, especially Japan, Republic of Korea, and Singapore, should lead to the rest of Asia in 2 areas, making the scientific and technological breakthroughs that are crucial to Asia and moving beyond high economic growth toward promoting broader social well-being. Asia's major economic powers like PRC, India, Indonesia, Japan, and Republic of Korea will be important in integrating Asia and shaping its role in the global economy. The United States has been dominant to the world since 1945. They understood, as did most Americans, that primacy brought important benefits. It made other states less likely to threaten America or its vital interests directly by dampening great power competition and giving Washington the capacity to shape regional balances of power. Primacy contributed to a more international environment. Primacy also gave the United States the ability to work for positive ends, promoting human rights and slowing the spread of weapons of mass destruction. It may be lonely at the top, but Americans have found the view compelling. When a state stands alone at a pinnacle of power, however, there is nowhere to go but down. And so Americans have repeatedly worried about the possibility of decline even when the prospect was remote. It's time for America to face the reality that it's just a country like others with a limit on its ability and can change course based on its domestic political needs and national interests. Finally, in the end of America era, everyone has their own ways of life. The next expected wars will be China, India, Russia. The rise of China and India explains a large part of this times. China is now the bigger economy at PPP than the US, accounting for 19% of world output this year, more than double the 7% recorded in 2000. India is now the world's third largest economy with a GDP about double the size of either Germany or Japan, both of which have economies larger than India's on a PPP basis in 2000. The world's imminent entry to an Asian age is coming not just because of its two largest economies, but also thanks to growth among smaller and mid-sized countries.